if you give me a chance to just save you a little bit of time if you want to start something as well. I tried to make YouTube videos for around 10 days, right? The logic was pretty simple. It was do something if you want to get good at something. So I was completely determined to just make a video every day, try to improve something, try to learn something. And even though I knew this, which I still think is a brilliant idea, and you probably have a similar perception of what makes you good, right? You think, oh, play the piano took me 5 years. If I do something else for 5 years, I'm probably going to be pretty good. And so I did it. I think I did it for 11 days. And then I was like, this is boring. I need to do something really cool. And so I had this idea. I'm going to make a 10-minute video. It's going to take me a week. It's going to feature really cool shots and a point, and it's going to be funny and insightful. And I didn't make it. And the reason I didn't make it is every time I wanted to start, the expectation of what I wanted to do and what I was actually able to do was so far apart that there's just no way that you can do it. And the lesson you can maybe take away from my mistake, which I hope there's at least something in there for you. If you want to start something, or you're also someone who hasn't made a YouTube video yet, and you want advice from someone who has at least tried it for like 2 weeks, is you just need to be so much more patient, right? Because the delusion I had is, well, I've done it for 10 days, now I can do something cool. As if anyone who has ever done something for 10 days was good enough to take a big step. Which is so delusional, because imagine you go to jog every day for a week, and you did that, right? That's still impressive, it's better than doing nothing. But imagine at the end of this week, you're like, well, I went jogging every day for a week, I'm gonna run a marathon. That's a horribly hard word to say. So what I'm trying to say is, if you maybe someone who also started making videos like me and you stopped, or you haven't done a video because you're imagining too high, if I look at my videos, the first one is still worse than the last one, which means there has been improvement. I'm just too impatient. And if you take anything away, if you're the one person on this planet that's actually stuck along and watched me talk about an experience I made, is just do it longer, right? Try to be more patient. Things just don't happen in a week. And I think it maybe only speaks to my own arrogance or impatience to think I get to have something without having to put in all this effort. And I think you're specifically going to resonate with that, because think of something you're really good at. Think of something you're really good at and just imagine yourself how good you were like a year in, right? You've you've played the piano for like 5 years, and think back how good you were like a year in. If I think back, I didn't know what I was doing a year into things I've been doing longer for 5 years. So even things that I've been doing longer than 5 years, in a way you kind of only start understanding how bad you actually are. Sometimes even after 5 years you understand I have no idea what I'm doing, right? I know where I'm at, it's here, it's better than everyone who does nothing and everyone who's a complete beginner, but I'm still here. And it's gonna take that time. And so what I'm going to do, and what I hope you're going to do as well, is just try your best to build a routine and actually keep going, and be even better at being patient, and be even better at just looking at the thing, doing it and doing it and doing it. It's just so ironic how, even if you understand this, how this can be taken away from you. I've been going to the gym for many years now, and I would tell every beginner like at least 6 months, right? It's gonna take at least 6 months till you can see what you did. Maybe 3, depending on how good they are and how much sport they actually did in their life and how their food is. But what I mean is, if you start something new out, like something vague like creating videos for strangers, the entitlement of thinking that after 10, 11 days, you will even see a difference, right? And I am seeing a difference. So just stick with it. If you're someone who's also trying to create stuff, maybe write a comment and we can chat a bit. But I'm definitely gonna try to be better again, and start making stuff again, and just have no shame in how bad it is, because if you're too ashamed, then you're never gonna start. And I literally have not achieved a single thing that I'm good at without starting. And maybe it's really uncomfortable like this, where you make these videos and you make this effort and you have to sit down every day and have to practice, and you notice that you look ugly and your room is uninteresting. I think it's really worth it. I think if you just put a little bit more trust in yourself, right? And trust the process and be like, all I have to do for a month is to show up. And then at the end of the month, you're like, was I better than I was at the beginning? The answer will probably be yes. And so you're like, oh, that's worth it. Let's do another month, because I will get better by doing another month. And maybe once you're really comfortable and you've really gotten into the routine, then you can be like, okay, let's make a few more a day. Let's try to add this new feature. And another thing I noticed in the 10 days is, if the core, which at the beginning essentially is just my ability to talk into a camera and not be completely awkward and don't move, is if the core of what you're doing, when you're doing it live, is that interesting enough, or do you need to hide behind a bunch of editing? Because honestly, editing is the part that takes the longest. And so if you're not able to create something that's worth watching, then that's something you should work on. Because if you do content about books or art or creating stuff, or you're a gamer or whatever, and you have to crank out this crazy editing process every time to make yourself look less uninteresting or less unappealing, then maybe you should just face the reality that the stuff you're making isn't good. And so you should work on that. And you can only work on that by practicing. And you can only practice by having a habit. And I hope I'm not beating the dead horse of what the point is, but we're gonna figure it out.